Alam mo ba kung saan nagmula ang cotton? Ito'y nagmula sa isang uri ng halaman, ang Levant cotton. Scientific name, Gossypium herbaceum. Isa itong perennial shrub na lumalaki ng may taas na 6 feet. Noong unang panahon, ang ginagamit sa paghahabi sa paggawa ng damit ay ang barks o balat ng kahoy. Hanggang sa madiskubre nila ang paggamit ng cotton dahil sa mas malambot at presko itong suotin. Kaya naman hanggang ngayon, napaka-in-demand ng raw materials ng cotton sa paggawa ng damit. Dito sa Pilipinas, endemic din ang cotton. Bago pa man dumating ang mga Kastila, ang mga native varieties nito ay tumutubo sa Bicol at Visayas region. Naitala na umabot sa 38,000 hectares ang plantasyon ng cotton, na kalaunan unti-unti nang naglaho. Kaya hanggang ngayon, umaasa ang Pilipinas sa mga imported cotton products. Last year 2023, naglunsad ng mga plano at hakbang ang ating gobyerno para buhayin muli at palaguin ang cotton farming sa Pilipinas. Napakalaking tulong nito para sa ating magsasaka at ekonomiya dahil highly in demand ang raw materials ng cotton sa buong mundo, na nagkakahalaga ng $43.96 billion sa global market at expected na umabot sa $50.22 billion by 2029. Ngayong episode, dumayo tayo sa Ifugao para matutunan ang kulturang unti-unti nang naglalaho dahil sa kakulangan ng raw materials na ginagamit sa paghahabi. Isang national treasure o heritage ng ating kultura na ngayon gumagamit na lang ng alternative raw materials para mai-preserve ang kultura ng paghahabi at maipagpatuloy ang pag-e-export ng artisan high-value woven fabric. Matututunan din kung ano ang mga meaning ng mga patterns ng kanilang mga likhang makukulay na obra. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Welcome back po sa Agri sa Agri. Kasama po natin the creative person behind the Kenro brand. Kasama natin si Miss Abby.
Thank you for coming all this way to Ifugao to reach us.
It's my first time here actually in Ifugao. Hindi pa ako nakapunta sa Sagada. So hindi ko pa mismo na silip ang rice terraces. Pero before I do that, syempre yung napaka-rich na kultura na pine-preserve mo. Itong mga produkto na ito pala ay behind this is a raw material na napakaganda ng market back in the days until today, ang cotton. And sad to say, no, limited na po ang ating mga supply ng mga cotton, limited na rin yung ating mga farmers. Pakinggan nyo yung pagbabahagi ni Miss Abby dahil siya na ang magkukwento sa inyo ng mga simbolo at meaning na ito. No, noon pala, hindi ka basta-basta makakapagsuot nito.
Yes po, meron po tayong katangian dyan bago magsuot nito, meron dito, at merong bawal. Magandang araw sa ating lahat. Ako po si Abigail May Vicente Bulayungan. Andito po tayo ngayon sa Hingyon, Ifugao, and I own and manage Kenro Boutique. So, ang Kenro Boutique ay more on hobby. This is our locally woven textiles woven by our local weavers here in Hingyon, Ifugao. So, ang paghahabi, ito po yung pagsasala ng mga grupo ng sinulid ng pahalang or pababa para lang makabuo po ng isang tela na merong taglay na iba't ibang disenyo na ito ay isang malaking bahagi ng ating tradisyon. At mula po sa mga tela na ito, kami ay gumagawa ng mga kasuotan na may taglay na kakaibang disenyo rin na aming pinagmamalaki dito sa aming lugar. In the process of weaving, the very first step that we have to do is to form a ball of yarn in order for the size to fit the spaces wherein we will start with warping, and after that we put the yarn on the on this pin where we do it for the weft. So after doing the process of warping and wefting, we now do the beating process where you do the compacting of the yarns together to form the fabric or the textile. We have 3 kinds of weaving. Meron kami yung plain. We also have the ikat, which is the tie and dye process weaving, and we have the pinili. This is something very intricate. It depends on the designs or the figures that you want the fabric to contain, which figures you want to show. So medyo mas mahirap ito. Unlike yung ikat, from the beginning of the weaving, you will form the yarns into groups and tie them before you dye, because you have to cover certain parts of the yarn before you dye with the colors that you want to use. Bale, we'll say it na lang na contemporary na siya ngayon because we are trying to catch up with the modernization of our fashion industry. And doon po tayo. But before, way back years ago, like the bulol, yung parang formation of tao sa fabric, this is called the rice gods before the ancient times. So these bulol are believed to be their guardians in the rice fields, in the granary where they kept their harvested rice for it to be preserved, and also represents prosperity, wellness. During also the harvesting moments, they celebrate with the presence of the bulol because it's believed to be also a way of thanksgiving to these rice gods kasi abundant yung kanilang harvest. As you can see what I'm wearing, we have this figure of the rice gods. In Ifugao, we call it bulol. So, ito ang isang mga disenyo na kakaiba sa aming mga products. So we also have this symbol of lizard, which is believed to be sent by the ancient gods to show the farmers the source of the water for their crops. We also have this serpent, which is believed to be sent by the gods to show the people some boundaries of their lands.
Ito na. Sabaw sa kanin to. Diretso. Wait, ito yung luto na. Thank you.
Back in the days, in the weaving industry, the ancient people used to use barks of trees to provide their clothing. As days goes, they discovered the cotton. Comparing with the ancient people use, which is from the bark of trees, and they prefer to use cotton because of its softness, comfortability for you to wear when it comes to the weather. Kahit mainit, it's comfortable kasi breathable ang cotton and it's soft with our skin. And kahit malamig, it's also warm for us to wear. So, ito yung naging preferred na yarns ng ating mga tao noon na gamitin sa paghahabi. And as days goes and marami na rin na po ang gumagamit ng cotton sa weaving, nagkakaroon na po tayo ng shortage. Now comes our polyester yarns, in alternative for the shortage of cotton. yun na rin po ang isa sa karamihan na ginagamit natin sa ngayon. But as much as possible, we prefer to use the cotton. Dahil sensitive ang production ng cotton, they shift to other productions because of the sensitivity of the cotton farming. But I understand also, and I believe there are technologies from other countries that we can adapt para mas umunlad ang farming ng cotton. And I know that if we have these technologies, magkakaroon po tayo ng more production ng cotton, and at our end, we have more raw materials to use sa ating mga product na maganda na yung raw materials, maganda na yung design, and mapaunlad pa natin ang weaving industry na malaking bahagi ng ating tradisyon at kultura. Mas happy.
So, susubukan ko muna ng walang tabako.
Kasi mamaya baka magsuka ka.
Pag may tabako?
Oo. Kasi parang din siyang yosi.
Kasi hindi ako nag-i-use.
Na ano siya, makakang.
So, babalutin doon, tapos
Ngangakain mo lang.
ang tigas ha. Ang tigas.
Kaya yan yung pangpatibay ng mga ngipin ng mga matatanda.
Pati yung mga bata nagkakanga dito.
Ayaw, pati 5 taon.
Kung ganyan yung tikim niya, hindi mo iinumin yung ano ha.
Ay, luluwa ko.
Oo.
Kasi sasakit ang ano man yan.
Dami.
Malasyan ka.
Yung inumin ng
We were able not only to tap the domestic market, but we were able to tap other countries. Like Japan, they were amazed with our products, but the production is sad to say that we weren't able to meet some of their demands. So dito po papasok ang challenge ng ating shortage ng ating production. So sana magkaroon more ng production ng ating weaving industry to support the supply of the raw materials. The same as with the European countries, they loved our product. They appreciate our products, they appreciate our weaving skills, our woven fabrics that we showcase to them, but still we end up still with the production. And now we were able to tap the international market. But we can't deny that China is behind us. Pero matatapatan natin yan. They may have the production, pero we have the artisans. These are the amazing products that the Europeans and other foreign countries appreciate and wanted from our products. Mapod an algo iditoon namin. No daan man di kawadaan nyo, ani iba, aamod, yaagi, anboble, hanaot, tamapmapod ayun na awadan nyo. Oya, supportaran nyo di Agri sa Agri with Tito J, an imali pemanteya tat tigona tun apapodan tun an aat di mun abol hituh bubleta o. Ya, supportaran nyo damdaman, no dan man di awadan nyo, di tun produkto tao, an mapmapod, an imali na ipatigo na, an hindi mo ya abo.
Ayan. Napakaganda. Parang yung salita nila sa Lord of the Rings, no? Yung mga, yung tunog nung sound nung dialect. And Ipugaw ba yan? Anong?
Opo,
Yan.
Tuwali.
Tuwali. Yan, yan. So yan, good news po para sa lahat ng cotton farmers ngayon na existing. Pumunta na lang din po kayo sa description kung gusto nyong mag-supply ng raw materials.
Yes.
I'm sure matutuwa si Miss Abby na
Yes,
makilala kayong lahat.
Yes, hinihintayin po kayo ng ating mga hobby para may mahabi sila na cotton.
Alright. Agree ka ba sa Agri?
I agree. 101% I agree. I agree.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.